Hey guys, thanks for joining today. So today actually I'm in our little veranda outside just because I wanted to capture what it feels like in rainy season. So it's April now and we're kind of like in the traditional like longer rainy season in Kenya. Kenya's so big and there's so much diversity in terms of the climate. But when where we are in Kendu Bay, this is what it's like. It's about in the afternoon time frame, and it was a quick and sudden like rainfall. So I think historically, when I speak to people who are around here, usually it actually rains in the evening time. So the daytime rains is a little bit more unusual. They do come, but it's a little bit more rare. But now it's more noticeable that the rains are coming during the daytime even. So you can see it's coming out and it's just starting to rain a heavy downpour right now. And so, you know, pretty much what it means for us at home, typically we don't have power, we lose power and it affects things at home with that. Uh, and also with Sherry and the girls during the daytime, they're usually trying to do their like outdoor stuff, whether it be laundry. So obviously we can't, do laundry and expect our laundry to be dry during the daytime. Doing things in the garden, obviously, they're like rained out. They can't do that. But in the hospital sense, people don't like to get out once it rains like this. So unfortunately, it does stop a lot of people from traveling to the hospital. If they need care, they'll usually cancel their appointments or don't show up, at least in terms of PT wise. And with the rains too, there comes other things like landslides and mudslides, flooding as well too. So thankfully, where we are in Kendu Bay, the main roads are tarmacked or they have asphalt, and thankfully that's okay. But anytime you're driving into the smaller villages, it's all like dirt road, and so you get all flooding and it gets super muddy. And so oftentimes, if you're driving those roads, you're gonna get stuck, and it's gonna be super muddy. So you need, four-wheel drive. You need vehicles with a higher clearance in order to get through that terrain. So if you were to, for example, drive to Masai Mara, and that's more in the rural village, if you want to go to like a safari, you're going to need like a Land Cruiser. You're going to need a higher vehicle, more than what we have in our sedan as well too. So those are kind of things that you kind of have to think about now that you're in like this longer rainy season. And you know, there's also issues not only flooding for like, your home and villages, but for example, even like issues like we had a patient who suffered a traumatic fracture because of like landslides in the season as well too. So there's different things that kind of come about because of the heavier rains. But since this area is also a big agricultural area, we need the rains as well too. So everyone starts planting. This is the time to plant for their maize, their greens, their vegetables. People are planting right now for their gardens. So there's this like balance where we need the rains and there's life involved and it's absolutely necessary part of life. But then also it kind of stops other activities and things, and there's some danger involved as well too with the increased rains as well too. So there's just kind of these different elements that I guess you may not think about when you're traveling this time frame in Kenya. So like this time frame of this longer rainy season is kind of like this March, April, May time frame, where you get these heavy rains, longer rains, and where you kind of get some of the elements because of that. So I wanted to share a little bit of that during this time frame, during this time of year in Kenya, and yeah, just something to keep in mind, especially if you're traveling to Kenya at this time. Anyways, we hope that was interesting, and I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.